William Branham said that believers were divided into three categories: true believers, make-believers, and unbelievers. Can you tell us where William Branham got that?
So, John, that is actually just a fairly common saying among evangelical Christianity back at the turn of the century, coming out of the 1800s and the 1900s. It's just a fairly widespread term, right? And you just make a quick survey of religious or Christian literature from that period, you'll find that term scattered throughout. I mean, for example, here's an example I can show you where that language was used in Sunday school lessons from the Sunday school book in 1911. So this language existed before William Branham was born. It is just kind of common language that was out there among Christians. Now, somewhere along the way, where did William Branham get that from? Did he read it out of one of these books? I don't know. I think more likely he just picked it up listening to other preachers and other people out in Christianity, as he grew up or as his ministry progressed, and he heard someone else say it and he liked it and he repeated it. But point being, it's a fairly common phrase. It's not unique or special to the message in any way, and it predates the message.
Right, and I'll go a step further because, like you said, it predates the message and it's somewhat widespread. Not everybody who does this has an evil mind, but I will say this. We see this in politics, and I'm going to avoid names of politicians because we'll get backlash, but if you have a politician who has a very narcissistic personality, one of the tools of manipulation that narcissists use is they will take groups of people who are supposed to be their supporters, their devotees, and they'll try to say that there is unbelief among you. Some of you are true believers of me, some of you are not. And what it does to the crowd of people, it makes them want to be even more zealous towards whatever's the agenda. They say, "Oh, I hope it's not me. I hope I'm not the middle category. I don't want to be that. I want to be a true believer. I don't want to be an unbeliever." In the end, there aren't three. There are really only two. You either believe or you don't. An unbeliever is a make-believer, and a make-believer is an unbeliever. There's only two categories. But if you want to drive a wedge into the crowd and say, "I want you to be hyper-vigilant," that's what you do. That's the way you do this. That's the way that they manipulate you. They try to put this fear in your heart that you might be the one who's unbeliever. And so, or a make-believer. They want to make you feel like you're not doing good enough. And that's the tool of manipulation that was used here.
The way William Branham sets that up, that you have this category of make-believers, I know where I come from. This sets up all kinds of witch hunts, John, because you're always trying to find the make-believer among you, right? We had the belief in our sect of the message that we had to purge out all the make-believers / tares / lower-class Christians before the end of days could happen. And so there's just a constant desire to discover the make-believers among you and mercilessly crush them and run them out of the church. And so there's just endless witch hunts against people. And that is it's so messed up, what the way William Branham introduced this stuff. And all of the people, it's just that it's hurt and damaged, right? And I'm not talking about, make-believer, they're obviously living a very immoral lifestyle or something, but make-believer in the sense of you secretly disagree with some obscure doctrine of the message. You are a make-believer. We must find you and destroy you, right? Like, it's like that, and it's so bizarre. It is so bizarre how the message does that and just destroys people's homes and lives, on these make-believer purge quests. I don't know if you had that where you come from, but purging the make-believers, that's the phrase I'm using here, was a common theme and feature of our sect of the message.